Good afternoon. This is Terry DeFazio from NEK-TV, and my guest is Shiloh Bordeaux. Can you tell us why you've organized this rally today, Shiloh?
Yes, so I've organized this rally today because of recent events that have impacted my family. I recently had a report made by one of my relatives about my kids, and DCF opened an investigation assessment into the matter, and they ended up closing out the matter, and now the family court is prosecuting, as well as the criminal court is prosecuting. And so when something impacts your family directly, you really start to look into it more. And as I started to look into it, I realized that there's a huge amount of corruption going on, and that I'm not the only one, that there's actually 80 to 90% of the families that are having their kids taken away from them or having it done wrongfully. And so I organized this rally here today to bring awareness to this broken system of DCF and the courts and law enforcement when dealing with families. It's supposed to be this system that helps families and protects children, and really what's going on is it's just become this system that is traumatizing children and tearing families apart, and actually causing more harm than good.
So can you tell me how long has your case been going on for?
So my case has been going on since spring.
Okay.
And
so looking at a good 7, 8, 9 months.
Yeah, I guess so. It doesn't feel like it's been that long, but it's been going on. The report from my mother was made in May, I believe, sometime around May, and that's when DCF started to look into it. The report that was made was that my kids were not receiving an education, and DCF went to the Agency of Education to look for paperwork on file for home study, and they could not find any paperwork. So they said that my kids are at significant risk of harm because there's no paperwork at the Agency of Education.
So it's a matter of paperwork then?
This is a matter of paperwork, or lack of paperwork, paperwork that's not even required by any state laws to have on file anyways.
We could talk about this for a very long time, but what's next for you, Shiloh?
So what's next for me is a huge legal battle, dealing with, family court case, dealing with criminal court cases, dealing with a civil case. And we filed a habeas corpus when my fiance was in jail to get him released. A habeas corpus is a proceeding when somebody is potentially wrongfully imprisoned or unlawfully being detained, where the state has to provide legality for that detention. And so far, the state has not been able to answer us. They've had several chances to respond as to providing a lawful reason for the detention, and they have not been able to. So continuing to pursue that habeas case, getting some justice with these other cases, and filing a lawsuit in federal court.
Okay, thank you very much, and we will be in touch with you, and we want to keep finding out more and more. Please stay in touch with us, okay?
Yes, I definitely will.
And we'll take somebody else and we'll talk to them.
All right, thanks so much, Terry.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
Good afternoon. Once again, this is Terry DeFazio from NEK-TV, and please tell us your name and where you're from.
Melanie Hudson from Brattleboro, Vermont.
And what brings you up here to Newport today?
Well, I found out about this rally on Facebook, and Vermont doesn't do too many rallies, so I was excited to be here. And Brattleboro, Vermont took my children December of 2015, and they started canceling visits almost immediately, and I haven't seen them since 2016. And I have 4 girls. They could not terminate us with our oldest, but they did with the 3 younger ones, and they're all separated.
What was the reason for them taking them away?
Well, I used to drink, but I have 9 years sobriety.
Well, that takes you way back before 2016, doesn't it?
Yes, and so they were waiting for me to do something wrong, which I never did. And then I got sick with the flu in November of 2015, and I was sick for 3 weeks, and they said neglect. And their dad wasn't, we were just separated. Their dad wasn't in the house, so they took him. And I had a fever.
What is do you see anything new on the legal battlefront for you and your kids?
Not anything new. We had 2 trials because we won the appeal in Montpelier, and a lot of people don't win the appeal, but we did, and we lost due to length of time. This is Windham County. We had the second trial back in Windham County, so 2. We lost due to length of time that the system caused.
I want to thank you for your time today. It was nice to talk to you, and best to you.
I miss my daughters. Lacey, we still see sometimes. Lydia, Leanna, and Lillian. Hudson.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. This is Terry DeFazio. And who do we have here?
Maureen.
From where?
Westfield.
And
Kara. I'm her daughter.
what brings you to the rally here today in Newport?
I'm just standing up for parents' rights to educate our own children and also to raise our children the way we see best, and also to bring awareness to the broken system that kind of just oversteps boundaries and doesn't follow proper procedures when there is an issue or a possible issue. A lot of kids are taken away wrongfully from their parents.
Have you had dealings with DCF before?
I have, but on the other side, I was a foster parent.
Well, okay. I'm glad you guys came out today.
Yeah.
What have you learned since you've been up here?
Well, not much yet. I just learned that, the problem's probably more widespread than I realized at first.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, and thank you for being a foster parent.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good one. Good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're from.
My name's Dylan Jang. I'm originally from Berlin, New Hampshire, but I'm now in Lowell, Vermont.
Okay, and you are here, obviously. Tell us all about this sign.
So, DFS, the state...
DCF.
Is it DCF? I think in Vermont they call it DFS. DCF. Okay, DCF here in Vermont.
Department of Children and Families.
Okay, yes. DCF here in Vermont is attacking my fiancée and her children.
Okay.
She has 2 school-age children that are not enrolled in the Vermont Home Study Program, as they are not required to be by law. It's not a requirement here in Vermont anymore. I think it used to be, and the law was changed.
When was the law changed? I wasn't aware of that.
I'm not quite sure. I want to say maybe like 5 years ago or something like that, to the best of my knowledge, from what I'm told. But definitely I've read the statutes now, and it does not require that they're enrolled in the Vermont Home Study Program. But nevertheless, they're going around. DCF is going around the state intimidating families into enrolling their kids into the Vermont Home Study Program.
Okay, now I think I spoke to Shiloh. Did this start about 7-8 months ago, did it?
Yeah, I know like a year or 2 ago, she talked to the state police or the sheriff and kind of explained what the statute said to the sheriff, and the sheriff was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, sounds like you know what you're doing, and there's no obligation here." But so about 7 or 8 months ago, DFS had showed up as, I guess, a complaint from actually Shiloh's mother.
Yeah, I heard about that. What was that? Are you at liberty to tell me what that was all about?
Shiloh's mother is really estranged from Shiloh and her family, and I think for good reason. So I'm not quite sure why she would go about doing that, but I think maybe she was just hoping to get the kids, and doesn't agree with her lifestyle, our lifestyle, living off-grid, homeschooling the kids, and just living very alternatively.
Well, at the risk of sounding like I'm trying to slant things, some people can't accept anything but a specific lifestyle, it sounds like to me. But where does your court case stand right now? What's the process you're going through?
So currently right now there's an active pickup order for the 2 school-age children, and it doesn't seem like they're really trying to push things right now. I'm sure that they know that they've messed up on their paperwork a lot, and I'm sure they also know that their whole basis for their pickup order relies basically on a DCF worker's affidavit that I'm not quite sure what the affidavit said. I can't quite recall, but it's all just hearsay. She doesn't have anybody besides herself stating that these kids are not getting an education. It's just the DCF worker, and they don't know anything. They're just going off of the tip from grandma or something, who hasn't, to the best of my knowledge, signed any sworn document stating that or providing any basis for her claim.
So do you see any sort of an end to this anytime soon, or do you think this is going to drag on a while?
Hopefully it'll come to a head pretty soon. You know, Shala's working on her responses for court documents and some motions and stuff. So,
Do you have a lawyer?
I have a lawyer for my criminal case that has evolved from this whole situation.
Okay. I wish you all the best, and have a great day. Stay warm. It's been cold today.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.